and still undefeated, the Problem Jake Paul.
Me and Jake need to run that back.
So you want an immediate rematch? Is that of interest to you?
Off the top, I want an instant rematch.
If you get the tattoo, I love Jake Paul, let's run it back.
Bet. Let's go. Bet.
Deal.
Make the bet. Bet.
Deal. Get the tattoo. Get the tattoo.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present the featured bout of the evening. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance, fighting out of the red corner, Woodley. Fighting out of the blue corner, ladies and gentlemen, here's the popular media sensation,
Welcome, boxers. I want you to protect yourself at all times.
It's fascinating because he's a beast. He's a beast.
And the millions
You imagine
watching
that you could come.
around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Think about it from this perspective. Why does Jake Paul need to be on this card? Why did he work to keep this intact when his opponent pulled out? Why is he taking on somebody he was completely unprepared for, who we already beat? You're not going to find an answer. And if you turn to the usual suspects, money, attention, fame, notoriety, no, and no. So why is he doing it? He's doing it because he's a pretty selfless guy. Why he doesn't need this fight, and it doesn't make any difference in his life whether this competition goes on as scheduled or not. There's 18 other people on the card whose years and holiday seasons will be ruined if they're not able to go to work that day. That's what Jake Paul's doing this for, and he's taken an enormous risk in doing it. Very hard to imagine a way to succeed for Jake Paul. Everybody, you guys, give him such a hard time anyway. Even if he goes out there and beats somebody, we re-engineer it to give him a hard time. And I'm just encourage you, be a little more open to this guy. John Jones, by example, and this really isn't me looking to pick on John, it's just a name that you guys would know. But John will come out and talk about, I'm doing this and I'm doing it for the rest of you. I'm a leader amongst the boys. I'm standing up for the boys. Anytime John has been put in that position to actually prove it, he's tucked his tail and ran. He is a selfish prick who will only do what's good for him. The end. But so are most other guys. I can't think of an example quite like this one, where the most famous and wealthiest guy on the entire card is the one that made sure that the golden rule, that the show must go on, stays intact. And I want Jake to get his credit for that. I am not picking Jake in this fight. I'm picking T. Wood. I thought T. Wood was going to beat him the first time. And I do think that T. Wood made some very clear mistakes in the first fight that had he not made, he would have won the fight. I just don't imagine that he's going to do it again. I think one thing that people are going to, and I'm hedging everything on this, if I'm wrong about T. Wood's conditioning and level of fitness, I'm wrong about everything coming out of my mouth, but I don't think I am. T. Wood looks fantastic. And when fighters aren't training, it's very visible. They gain weight. There's a way that they look. There's a jawline that you don't see because their face gets puffy because they've been out at the bar drinking too much. I saw T. Wood at the Triller event. They threw him on camera. He looked like his body was carved out of stone, the same he always looks. He looks like he's going about 187 pounds. Same as he's always weighing. I think he's training. I think he's in shape. And maybe he wasn't fully training for a fight, getting that extra workout in a day, getting the sprints in on Sunday morning. Maybe he wasn't doing that, but he looks like a guy that's in the gym regularly. And that even on 2 weeks notice, 3 weeks notice, can snap his fingers and get right back there. And I do think one of the things that held back on T. Wood is as good of a fighter as he is and experienced as a fighter is. And I'm going back to their first fight. T. Wood versus Jake, what the hell happened? Well, the output of T. Wood was not normal. T. Wood came out of that fight, he was able to breathe just fine. His lungs held up, his legs held up, his chin held up, his conditioning was good. But he didn't know that. Much as he wanted to say it and he wanted to believe it and he wanted it to be true, he did not know because he'd never done it before. He'd never been in there under those rules. He never only had to rely on a left and a right. He could grab you, he could take you down, he could clinch you, he could hang on to you, he could maybe choke you, he could throw a leg kick in there. There was just a number of things that T Wood could do that he's used to doing. All of a sudden, all of his energy is going in to 4 shots, draw a jab across, an uppercut and a hook between 2 hands. He didn't know what he was getting into. And I did think his output was surprisingly low, particularly in rounds 1, 2, and 3. It just looked like he was a little hesitant to put his foot down on the gas. And I only bring that to you because I think if he would have thrown more shots, they would have landed more shots, and he would have won the fight, which was a pretty close contest to start with. I think we can all at least agree on that. There was even a point where it looked like T Wood had Jake hurt, but T Wood didn't see it. It's just not what he's used to doing. T Wood's used to hurting a guy and knowing the guy's hurt because the guy falls down to the canvas. Jake went into the ropes and recovered him, and even though that was just one moment of the fight, I only suggest for you the naiveness of your former world champion from a different sport. Didn't fully know how prepared he was. And whatever T Wood's motivation was for part 1 with Jake, it is more now. That's just good logic. Now, Jake's got a bunch of pluses in his column too. Certainly he gained confidence. Certainly stopping an Olympian in Ben Askren and then beating a UFC champion in T Wood, staying fully focused, knowing this fight was coming up, doing the press tour, doing everything right, eating right, sleeping right. Certainly he feels like he has a little bit of an edge. And in most cases, he would be right. The last minute guy is at a disadvantage. The footage I saw, this is from a distance. This is on my couch, watching TV in my living room. I thought T Wood looked great. I really did. I've seen some stuff T Wood's put out on social media. I think he looks great. You don't just walk around looking great. You gotta earn that. You gotta be eating right and sleeping right yourself. You gotta be getting in instead of staying out yourself. You gotta be getting up and getting in the gym instead of not yourself. So I think T Wood's within distance. I do give the motivation to T Wood. But moreover, who learned more from that first fight? It's gotta be. Throw more punches, be more active. Go to the body, come to the head, punches and punches. Get in, get out of the way. Don't stand around and wait after you rob the store. That's a Clayton Hires expression, by the way. Means hit your target and get out of the way. Don't stand there and wait for the police to show up. Get the hell out of there. All right. I'm sticking with T Wood. I think he got a long fight. I don't think T Wood's going to finish him. I'm very confident telling you guys that Jake isn't going to finish T Wood.
So who do you think will win this fight? Thanks for watching and leave your comments below. See you soon.